If you told me that I could live in any anime world I choose, I would pick, weirdly enough, the world of My Hero, as crazy as that sounds. I mean, if you think about it, the My Hero universe is literally just our world, except people have superpowers. Which, you know what? I'm totally down for. Of course, there's the possibility that you might end up with a useless power, like maybe you can levitate a millimeter off the ground, or maybe you can stretch your 10 inches. Wait. Nope, that would actually be a really good power. Anyways, recently I went back and rewatched all of My Hero since I heard it was getting a 7th season, and the last time I watched My Hero was, well, 3 years ago, which is just kind of crazy to me because I watched it when it came. It's just crazy how much time passes. Like, you know, you grow up with TV shows and stuff, and then as you get older, you realize, oh my god, Sword Art Online came out 40 years ago, which is definitely not true. I probably made a couple of you Sword Art Online fans worry. Though, as much as I clown on My Hero on this channel, I actually like My Hero quite a bit. I thought that My Hero had a good story, and when it first came out, a lot of people did too. But now it feels like no one talks about the show anymore besides the dedicated fan base. It feels like the hype for it died. It kind of feels like the Marvel or MCU, where everyone was like, oh shit, this is fire. And then they just left it in the oven and burned down the whole house.
2.5 hours and forget about it.
Before rewatching the show, I really didn't know what killed the hype of My Hero. Was there maybe too much hype around the show and got everyone burnt out? Or was it the stinky basement-dwelling fanbase who have an unhealthy obsession, pushing away all the quote-unquote normies? Or could it possibly be that My Hero wasn't good to begin with? Well, let's find out why it failed.
それは古い動画。
Are you seriously watching this on YouTube.com right now? Then why aren't you subscribing and liking to this channel? Also, quick shout out to my Patreon, link in the description below. If you really want to support me and you really like my videos, head on over to it. And hey, I'll show your names at the end of the video. Any tier. There's a $5, $10, $15, and $20 tier. Every single tier, I will show your names at the end of the video. And if you are hitting the $20 tier, then I will give you a Patreon shout out as well as showing your name on screen. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Let's get into the video. Yeah, that's right. I'm wearing a different outfit. That's because I recorded this on a different day. Anyways. Originally, rewatching My Hero wasn't on my list of things to do, but I got the idea for this video while I was catching up on Trash Taste episodes, and they started talking about My Hero, and made an interesting point. They said that My Hero does everything right. It's story, characters, world building. It does all these things really well. But then why doesn't it hit as hard? During that episode, they couldn't explain why, and me, picking my boogers while eating ramen, thought, it's my job as Sherlock No Bitches Holmes to get to the bottom of this mystery. And after rewatching My Hero, I can just say, I found the answer cause I'm pretty fucking smart. After giving it a lot of thought, the reason My Hero fell off, why it doesn't hit as hard, why it failed, all comes down to one thing. And that thing being its animation. The main thing holding back My Hero is its art style and animation. Let me explain what I mean. When you watch My Hero, you realize that there's a lot of fucked up shit in the show. I mean, look at Todoroki, for example. His dad forced his mom to marry him, then forced her to bear children, all for his own selfish desire. And if that wasn't bad enough, he abused his children and his wife, both physically and mentally, leading Todoroki's mom to have a mental breakdown and dump boiling water on his face as a child. Then his dad put his mom in a mental hospital, and now in the current day, Todoroki tries to rebuild his family that has fallen apart and has an amazingly well-written and tragic story that all takes place as a side story in the anime. All of that is just a side story, but why does something so messed up as that not feel messed up? Well, that's because every time there's something fucked that happens, on screen it's followed by another scene of a character making a funny face for comedic relief. The art style of My Hero is just too cartoony for its own good. As good as the fight scenes might be, the characters just look like they're from a kid's cartoon. Even the fight scenes don't feel like a fight and more like entertainment for a kid. I mean, some of those fights would not give you goosebumps if it weren't for the amazing voice acting and soundtrack that is backing it. In other animes such as Cyberpunk Edge Runners, that fight scene is freaking awesome and can give you goosebumps without any music or dialogue. My Hero in those early fights gives you the illusion that the animation is good. In actuality, the animation is too close to a kid's cartoon. For example, imagine if My Hero was animated like Tokyo Ghoul. It would hit so much harder and hold so much more weight and meaning in its story. I mean, look at Shigaraki's backstory. He accidentally ends up killing his whole family and his dog, which is fucked up. But why is the dead body of his dog a solid color and has little small chunks in it that just look like a cartoon drawing? This is a kid's dead dog that has been turned into a pile of mush. Why does it look like it's from a SpongeBob episode?
What do you need?
My God.
Now, if it had a Tokyo Ghoul art style direction, this cartoony ass puddle would look more like...
僕は何もしてません。偶然ここにいましたって。
Shigaraki's backstory would scare you so much more than it does. It just sucks that the animation, anime, the Japanese word for animation, the form of media that My Hero is in, is its greatest weakness. I mean, Dragon Ball hits harder than this. It's such a tragedy because the story of My Hero is truly incredible. Take Bakugo, for instance. He is probably one of the biggest bullies in anime. He is such a dipshit, it is so easy to hate him and despise him as a character. It feels like he's angry for the sake of being angry. But as the series goes on, you start to understand him. Why he is mad, why he is a bully, and then in the later seasons, he starts to redeem himself. To make a character that you absolutely despise into one you can understand is impressive from a storytelling standpoint. It sucks that My Hero has all these amazing story beats with awesome voice acting and a goated soundtrack, just for its animation style to hold it back. Now, its childish and cartoony art style is not the only thing holding it back. Its art style might be the main reason, but another strong point is the fact that Deku, the main character, is somehow the worst character. Some people say that Deku is their favorite character. But how can you like a character that has no personality or character growth? Thinking about it, at the end of the day, what is the point of a shonen anime? Shonen is an escape that is given to young teens. A character who is struggling in life and pushes through those struggles can help teenagers who are also struggling with life and growing up. By giving Deku no personality, it makes it way easier for people to self-insert themselves into the world of My Hero. In other anime, if you want to be immersed in that sort of way, well, most of the time you have to find a main character that you can relate to in some way. My Hero was really smart about this, though, since they basically made a blank canvas of a character in a cool world that is very similar to ours. I say canvas, but it's more of a coloring book where all you have to do is decide what colors go in between what lines. When someone says that Deku is their favorite character, I don't think they realize that they are relating to themselves. When someone says they like Deku, they really mean they like themselves. I mean, look at Deku as a character. He gets everything in life handed to him. What about his backstory? No, there's no tragic backstory. Okay, what is his job? Being a hero. Okay, maybe he has hobbies. Oh yeah, he actually does have a hobby. His main hobby is thinking about being a hero. Wait, really? Yep. Oh my god, that's so fucking stupid. Deku is nothing more than a page in a notebook waiting to be filled. Loser! The main character and animation of My Hero is what holds it back from being probably one of the best animes ever, in my opinion. It truly never had a chance from the start. But if you're willing to look past the animation, look past the main character, and look at the world around them and observe the wondrous storytelling, then My Hero becomes something more. My Hero might have shot itself in the foot, but it's up to you to carry it on your shoulder. If you do end up watching My Hero for the first time, or maybe going back to rewatch it, please look past its mistakes, because underneath it, it has one of the greatest shonen stories ever told. And, well, that's pretty much all I have to say about why My Hero failed. I have been Spruce, thank you for watching, and whenever you're down in life, always remember to go.
Finish it!